July 24th, 2026. We are going to continue our lesson from yesterday. I'm on the other side of the tacking area now. When I got out here, the two alpaca boys were standing here and here. They were ready to go. In the mornings when we are going to have a lesson, I tell them there's school today, boys. Somehow, they may have remembered because they came out here before me or Tavis came out. We're going to tack them up here like we did yesterday with the bareback pads. We're going to go back to the gate, the middle gate that lets us out to the Rancho's trails. And then Tavis is going to walk with the boys along the Rancho's trails to the very corner of my property where I have another gate. If they're doing well, he's going to turn left and go down the trails a little bit. I'm going to try to be there with him to video, of course. Right now, I'm here to video tacking. Is there going to be any problem tacking? Yesterday, they got A+ for absolutely everything we asked them to do. And look who's here too. Thor is anxious to go. He wouldn't let me out the door without putting his leash up. So I'm showing you the tacking. If everything seems to be going well, I'll just start walking slowly along the inside fence. And the goats are here. I'm hoping they won't follow us out. Yesterday they didn't. They just stayed here. I don't want them out on the Rancho's trails until I've given them lessons to lead. He's a little bit confused. He's thinking he should lay down. Okay. He's trying so hard to please. If they know what the right answer is, they try so hard to give the right answer. I have my clicker, but it's in my shoulder bag here. I'm going to try to bring it out. Sorry if the camera is shaking. Ah, there's my clicker. I found it. Sorry. I hope I don't make you dizzy. But it's just me, Thor, and the camera. We don't have any helpers yet. Click. Okay. Haltering, no problem. By the way, I did find a couple of more little halters. And they were in the hay room. So I put them out closer to the garages. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is going to be uneventful. So I'm going to start making my way with Thor to that middle gate. Again, sorry if I'm making you dizzy. I have 2 arms and hands, 2 legs, and they're kind of working, but I'm really careful out here when I'm walking on pasture ground. I can't really see everywhere where I'm walking. I'm going to take that route that you see ahead because the grasses are yellow and short. It's not steep. Nowhere on my properties are there any steep inclines. Thor is being very excited. Heel, heel. He knows the word heel means come back to my heels. He loves coming out here. This is my irrigated pasture, and I call it the big pasture because it is big. It's bigger than the back pasture, which is very well irrigated and very green, but it does have some high weeds again, even though we cut them a month or two ago. At least if I fall down, Tavis is close by. Now here's a little bit of a gully. Can we get through? We're going to try to the far fence. Oh, there are the boys. Maybe we better follow them. Heel. Heel. I'm getting a little bit firmer with Thor because he just wants to smell everything. Heel. And I'm tugging on his leash, which is on his, not his neck collar, but his breast collar. Not a constant pull, but a give and take. And that's true when you're working with livestock as well. Oh dear. Tavis, just a minute. I think I can't do this alone. Let me get closer. Heel. It's too high. No, it's too high out here and not flat enough. We may have to adjust the plans to accommodate an old lady.
I could go out here and come around that way.
Yeah, I'm not sure. We've never done this before, and Thor is very excited. I'm not sure how to handle this. You think I should go that way?
I'll go this way.
I think I'd like to follow you. Will you go that way, please? I want to stay near you. The sun is just now getting pretty hot. It's about 9:15. Heel. Yeah, I was headed that way, and then I turned to follow you, and I realized, no, it's too high here.
Yeah, it's...
Can you hold my hand?
If you want, you can go to the shade here, and then I'll go over out here.
Okay, all right, but hold my hand because he's pulling me. My love of animals puts me at risk sometimes. And I hope the camera's not too shaky for you because I've got his leash line in the hand that's holding the camera. And boy, is he anxious. Heel, heel. We're gonna have me stay in the shade.
Yeah.
That means you won't be able to see the alpacas close up. But when you open the gate to go out, leave it open, because if they get away from you, I think they'll come back to the open gate. That's what they did months ago when one of them got away. Heel, bad dog. Wait, hold. Okay. I'm gonna have to stay in the shade. If I had somebody who wanted to do this with us, they would be the camera operator, and it would be a much better video for you. Yeah, let's go.
And then I'll just walk around here and go all the way up there, and then...
Well, okay, just challenge them on the Rancho's trails.
Yeah.
That's going to be our objective today. Are they going to be responsive to our requests? Remember, I have 5 gates out to the Rancho's trails. But being on the Rancho's trails means that we're on somebody else's property line on the other side of the trail. And we don't know what to expect. Thor finally calmed down a little bit, but he's only less than 10 pounds, but he can pull. And I'm 120 pounds on two legs that still work, but not like they used to. Okay, they're very quietly walking out along the property fence line here on the inside of my property. And then Chavis is heading for the gate. So his objective today is to be ready to subject them to unfamiliar circumstances. Even if they're unfamiliar to the alpacas, their job is to focus on our request. Sorry if the camera's shaking. I'm having trouble keeping Thor from pulling me. Heel. Heel. I have trained Morgan horses, mini cows, alpacas, and many a dog, a min pin dog, in my adult life. The basic philosophy is they're to focus on my request, and I'm to apply pressure if they don't give me the right answer. Okay, so now we're coming down the trail that we were on yesterday, but we're going the opposite way, which means they're looking at different things than they were yesterday. When I trained horses, it was a very important principle to train them going both directions, because what they saw, besides what I was focusing on, would be different if I went in a different direction. It's like their right hand and their left hand are disconnected, and I have to make sure that during training they stay focused, both of them, on me, no matter what they see with their right eye or their left eye or their dual eyes. The Rancho's trails look like this most of the way when you go, but there are different terrains. There's certainly different backyards, different equipment, and ever since COVID, not always mowed down like they used to be in the spring. During COVID, somehow that responsibility of our HOA did not get accomplished. They're behaving well. I sure would like to walk over. I'm going to walk over to the fence. It's in the shade, but it's not flat. And there are some high grasses. Anybody who's watching my videos, I do have a guest bedroom in my main house, equipped, comfortably equipped. If you want to come and see the ranchos and work with us on these lessons, let me know. Okay, now he's still on the perimeter of my property fence in the ranchos trails. I can't get to the fence to video what's going on, but what I'll have to do is just tell you that the alpacas are doing fine. And I just bent down to get Thor's leash because he's not doing fine. Bad dog. I'm gonna train him while I'm training them. They're not in sight. But I'm pretty sure if they get away due to a spook, they'll come back here. They want to stay home. Yeah, Tavis is turning around, exposing them to things on the trail. Bad dog. He's pulling away because he wants to go smell something else. Each time we have a lesson, I have my learning objectives in mind. I try to keep evaluating accomplishment on prerequisite skills and decide what we're next ready to do. If the alpacas continue to get A+ out here on the nearby ranchos trails, we'll either go farther away, as long as I have another person here on the trails, and deal with the differences and the possible spooky objects there. Go all the way to the end now and come in that gate. But please make sure you close the middle gate when we're done. This is rural life. My neighbors all have acreage on their parcels. We're all here because we don't want suburban and city life. We want rural life, farming and ranching and animals. But of course, we all need to have motor vehicles. I'm just going to stand here, describe to you what I'm seeing, because even if I go out towards the fence, the grasses are so high there because they haven't been mowed by the HOA, you wouldn't be able to clearly see what's going on. And we're comfortably standing here in the shade on a potentially beautiful day, although I can anticipate that by noon or 1 o'clock it's going to be pretty hot. Nothing like in other states that are East Coast, Midwest states, but definitely summer in Nevada County. Yeah, they're still there. They're doing fine. I'm gonna quietly, I hope, walk back out to the edge of the shade so that we might be able to see them coming in the far gate. When I built all this fencing, I knew I wanted to have easy access to the Ranchos Trail, so I made sure there were 5 gates available on my 6 acres. Okay, he's now at the vicinity of the middle gate that he went out. I asked him to close it so we wouldn't forget to close it at the end of our lesson. And he's gonna go to the far gate. You see those rooftops there? They're on the edge of the Ranchos trails on that side of my property. They each have access, if they choose, to the trails. And they are not allowed to prevent anybody else from being on the trails by HOA rules. And I have said this many times, there are no motor vehicles allowed on the trails, ever. Maybe in an emergency, but not for any other reason. Okay, here's some dirt. Not grass. It's actually important for me to be able to see the ground. Okay, so Thor and I were going to walk a little bit more towards where Tavis will be coming in on my far corner gate. You can't see him yet, but if there were a problem, the alpacas likely would come running back to that middle gate. Oh, and look who's here. The goats. I'm glad I'm here and not there, because they may come out there if I was there. And I don't want them to. I want them to stay here, which they have the entire time they've lived here, until I have a handle on how to handle them. I filled a squirt bottle that I'm leaving now by my garage door, because sometimes they're standing and laying right in the doorway, and it's hard for me to step over them. So I'm going to grab my squirt bottle. I'm going to say, back, 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 while I squirt them on the front of their bodies, near their heads. They will learn what back means with the associated pressure of the squirt bottle. And then eventually, I won't need the associated pressure of the squirt bottle. That's my training philosophy. It was with horses, with cows, with alpacas, and it will be with goats. And at my sanctuary, I'll be having other farm animals there. They're all very similar in nature. They are animals of the moment. And I'm wondering, I might even look this up on ChatGPT, are squirrels animals of the moment? Because squirrels, they do stockpile their food for the next season. Somehow they think about tomorrow, not just today. I want to understand the difference between my farm animals and a squirrel, for example. And when I find the answer, I'll mention it on one of my other Urban Alpaca Girl shows, or my Urban Goat Girl show, which I'm going to start when I have somebody to help me train the goats. See, they're just hanging out here with me and Thor. They don't want to go anywhere else, even though they can get under and around any fence I have. And over there on my neighbor's corral, a pasture, it's not green at all because he's not irrigated, there's 3 running horses. What would happen if we were walking right there on the corral, on the rancho's trail, and those 3 horses came running by like they are now? One of these days, we'll go out there. Oh, here comes Tavis and the alpacas. We couldn't see them, but maybe that's why the horses were running. Okay, when Tavis gets here, we'll ask him. That could be the reason they were running, and it just appears to me that the alpacas are not agitated one bit. It's like the horses got agitated to see the alpacas. That's my guess. We'll see what Tavis says when he gets here. At my main site for my sanctuary, there are some sheep. And they might be brought here to eat these high grasses because I haven't had the equipment and the manpower to do it with my Kubota. But will my finish line fencing contain them. I think so. Okay, he's splashing some water on them from one of the irrigation risers. It did irrigate this morning. It irrigates by an Irritrol timer. One of these summers I'm hoping to have irrigation and water supply enough to keep this pasture entirely green and to have equipment sound enough and equipment operators willing to help me keep the grasses short. Okay, now we're going to carefully walk over to the tacking area. Thor wrapped around my leg again. Sorry, the camera's gonna have to be moved to my other hand. Okay. We're back at the tacking area. Let me show you. And I dropped my camera shoulder bag, but I now picked it up. Okay. I'm gonna carefully walk over there. At least there's another human being here if I do fall down. I have been in my pasture grasses and on my rubber mats and have fallen down with no human being in call sight. Luckily, I was able to get up by myself each time. The goats, the alpacas, Thor, the urban alpaca girl, and the lead trainer, all here, about to enter the shade, untack them, and we're going to interview Tavis and find out why those horses were running. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Did they run, do you think, because they saw the alpacas?
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely? Yes, okay. I've been told that on the trails, it's sometimes the big animals that spook by seeing the alpacas because they don't understand what is an alpaca. But the alpacas didn't spook at all when the horses started running?
Not really. There looks like maybe a newer horse.
Another horse, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Checking them out. Didn't know what's going on.
Okay, you guys, they get an A+, right?
Oh yeah, real good.
Yes, no question about it. And Thor, he doesn't get an A. He gets a B- for the times that he wrapped his leash around my legs, even though I told him to heel. And we always, when we're done with our lessons, we always put our tack back in the customary place. We get the gates back open in the customary manner. And we say goodbye for today on the Urban Alpaca Girl Show, sonyasokolo@gmail.com. If you have any questions or comments, SONYASOKOLOW@gmail.com. Goodbye for now.